In 2002, Canadian businessman Ken Thomson set in motion one of the most significant acts of philanthropy in Canadian history when he agreed to donate his priceless art collection to the Art Gallery of Ontario in Toronto. The collection comprises some 2,000 Canadian and European paintings and objects. From early Christian and medieval works of art and Renaissance sculpture, through Baroque objets d'art, the art of 18th and 19th century England and ship models, a man of passionate commitment and wide-ranging cultural curiosity, everything Ken acquired starting in the 1950s was of the highest quality craftsmanship and spoke directly to him. Now, his collection will speak directly to the world.
But I walked into this antique shop, and they had these two busts, and I picked them up and held them in my hands, and I thought, these are magnificent. And you know, they still are. In terms of technology, you know, quality and excellence of execution, they are superb little objects.
The Malmesbury châsse is a fine piece of Limoges enamelling. But what's fascinating about it is the quality of the enamelling. Particularly the crucifixion, the figures on each side, and the figure of God the Father above. It will show them the fascination of medieval art. It will show them the colour, the three-dimensional quality, the spirituality of this marvellous period.
The ivories are about somebody rather private, rather quiet, who has a kind of intense relationship to the objects and buys things that speak to him directly. Ken Thomson's collection is, in a way, one of the most richly rewarding in terms of viewing, because he approached them as a kind of, as an amateur, but an amateur in the sense of a kind of lover of these objects. So he was actually approaching them in a way quite similar to the approach of the people for whom they were made, I think.
Ken collected ship models, and ship models generally don't find their way into a museum. These were ship models made by craftsmen who are superb craftsmen, and this was one of Ken's passions, to collect them. The more I got to know Ken, the more I realized how intrinsic these ship models were to his life and his collection, his things that made him happy when he got up in the morning.
When he first set eyes upon the painting, he came to see me with an image, and he said, "Oh, David," he said, "are you prepared for what I'm about to show you?" And whenever he did this, I thought, oh, this is a feast or a famine. When he showed me the image, I realized that this was really a moment that was none of us had been prepared for.
Ken came in, it was after hours, there was no one else here, it was nice and quiet. And I remember he hadn't seen the painting since the surface dirt and so on had been removed upstairs in conservation. And he was just struck dumb by it for the first few minutes. He just stared at it. And then he had a big grin on his face and said, well, it really is the best. And it was that sense of sculptural power, I think, that really got him. He was always very keen on sculpture and craftsmanship in art. In this particular painting, Rubens has gone out to make a kind of sense of living sculpture. There's almost a palpable physicality. You can grab the limbs and hold them in the painting, and it's the most intense, physically vibrant painting he ever did.
I think he was always driven, in my own view, by trying to create, dreaming of creating a space where he could share with others his own engagement with art.